Hi guys, Tracy and Us. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to get into episode 5 of Tell Me Lies. But before, I just wanted to say, please share, like, and subscribe. Help me build my channel. I would really appreciate it. Okay, let's get into this episode. It's so good and a lot going on here. So Steven gets into Yale. Yay, Steven gets into Yale. But does anybody care? I mean, he has alienated so many people. You see him think, well, who do I call? Can't call Lucy, can't call my mom, can't call my sister. The boys are always there for him. It's always Wrigley and Evan there for him, no matter what they go through. They're there for Steven, and his like super negative personality doesn't seem to bother them. So they plan a little party session later to celebrate, and he calls Wrigley, of course, first. After I think he calls Sadie first, and then it goes straight to voicemail like always. So then he calls Wrigley, and Wrigley's gonna drop everything just to hang out with his buddy and celebrate a really big moment. This is a really big thing for Steven. You know, good news is always better when you have people to share it with. Sometimes I see him like thinking, and in this moment I think, is he realizing that he's really alienated all these people? But I don't know. That's the beauty of the show. You just never really know what's going on in Steven's mind. Of course, a beautiful woman catches his eye when he's at the library. And could this be his latest conquest? I'm not sure. If it is, poor girl. I feel sorry for her. Diane gets the news that she's been accepted to Yale as well. Her father tells her over the phone as she's going in to get rid of her and Steven's baby. That doesn't prevent her from being excited. She walks into that appointment with her head held high, full of confidence and excitement, which is really kind of sad actually, but it's where she's at. She's excited about Yale and her future and getting rid of the past. Bree and Evan have coffee and conversation after getting back together. It's really familiar and sweet and comfortable, and they really do belong together. So I love this moment for them. Unfortunately, it's ruined by Steven coming over and ruining the secret. Of course, it's going to get out fast and furious. And this bums Evan and Bree out because they really loved living in their little cocoon where there's no judgment and it's just the two of them. Evan goes ahead and reassures Bree, don't worry, it's not going to get out. I trust him. He thinks because what he did for Sadie means that Steven owes him something or they're good. They're never going to be good. Steven's going to hold the affair that Evan had with Lucy over Evan's head forever. As much as he's thrilled for what he did for Sadie, he believes that he deserves that for his sister and that Evan owes him forever, I guess. There's a brief mention between the two of them about the Hawaiian party. This is the party where Lucy and Evan end up hooking up together. And Bree just kind of casually mentions, oh yeah, when you were at the Hawaiian party. And he says, I wasn't at the Hawaiian party. And she's like, yes, you were. And of course, this is going to come back in future conversation for sure, because they wouldn't have put this in the show if it wasn't massively important in context to something else or something in the future. Alex brings Lucy coffee, which I'm not sure if she likes this side of Alex. Remember, she likes to be treated poorly. Otherwise, she wouldn't have kept going back to Steven. She's like wondering what all of a sudden this change in Alex is all about. So she asks him, she calls him out on it, and he lets her know that he found out about Chris and he's so sorry and he doesn't want to be that person. He's trying to be better, and that he doesn't want to treat her badly, and she's like, wait a second, do not change the way you're treating me. I like the way you're treating me, and if you don't treat me that way anymore, I'm going to be really bummed. So we'll see how that plays out. All of a sudden, Wrigley has become the relationship police. He's always commenting on the boy's bad behavior, and this is kind of annoying to everybody, but he's changed. The death of his brother changed him, and he is more compassionate now. He's more aware now, and he speaks his mind now. So as the last call is approaching, Steven does not want to end the party. This is his celebration night. He wants to continue on, continue drinking. So he recommends going back to his place over and over. And finally, Wrigley just explodes. I'm not going back there. How could you even live there? That's where Drew died. And for some reason, this is the first time that it dawns on Steven that he shouldn't even be comfortable being there. I mean, this is where their friend passed away. This is where Wrigley's brother died. And at that moment, I think you could see Steven thinking, why is this not bothering me? It bothers everybody else. It's never even come into my mind that this would be an issue. I'm wondering if he's discovering that he's really a sociopath, like everybody's always said. Pippa uses Lucy as an excuse so she can stay behind and go to the swim party, because that's where she knows Diane's going to be, and wherever Diane is, that's where Pippa wants to be, and vice versa. They both feel very strongly about each other. Lucy sees Steven at this swim party, and he's, playing chicken with a girl that he doesn't even know, that he met at the library, on top of his shoulders. And Lucy just looks at him with contempt. She just cannot stand that man. And that makes me realize that she still has feelings for him, because otherwise it really wouldn't bother her at all. But it bothers her. And Steven sees her looking at him, and Steven knows it bothers her, and that's why he does it. Bree and Wrigley decide to go into town. Wrigley just needs to get away from the school. And Bree has an idea in her head, and she is on a mission to go see her mom and to have a chat. She comes unannounced. Wrigley's happy to bring her there. He doesn't care. He just wants a distraction. And they drive 3 hours to Jersey, where her mom is. And then they have another one of their deep conversations, which they seem to be able to do now that they've become close friends. Molly approaches Evan and calls him out. She's pissed. She says, hey, what's going on? You ghosted me. He told her, I never promised you anything. I told you this was casual, and now I'm done. And she is really mad about this. She feels used. She thought there was more to their relationship, but he doesn't tell her that he's back with Bree. She'll find out soon enough, and it'll be interesting when that happens. But she does mention some nude pictures that she and he had taken of her, or she had sent him. And this piques Steven's curiosity for whatever reason. We'll find out soon. But it gives him some kind of idea whether he wants to use it against Molly or someone else. Chris approaches Lucy in the pool, and this makes Lucy super uncomfortable because she lied on him. But she didn't lie about the fact that he was abusing women. It was just not her that he abused. It was Pippa. And he even says, when he approaches Lucy and says, why are you doing this? He also says, me and your friend even hooked up. Talk to her about it. And this makes her go nuclear, because she walked in on the situation. She knew that Pippa was in no position to be intimate with anybody. She was basically passed out and that Chris had taken advantage of her. So this made her so mad and angry. She just left abruptly, and she let him know that she knew what happened with him and Pippa. Bree and Wrigley meet up with Bree's mom after she goes to the house, and they meet at a brunch place, and it's just so cute. Mom is so sweet and cute, and they're so much alike, and Wrigley is really showing up for Bree as a good friend. He says, I'll be right outside. Take all the time that you want. And I'm just going to have some breakfast over here and just come join me when you're done. And Mary and Bree have a great talk, and it's more friend-like than mother-daughter, but you understand later it's because Mary had Bree when she was 14 years old. So they're very close in age and didn't spend a whole lot of time together. Bree was in foster care. She had spent more time with grandma, and that's why their relationship seems more friend-like than anything. But it's a great, heartwarming start to a new relationship that Bree is interested in having. And the mom seems a little bit unsure of. I'm hoping it's just because she's a little bit uncomfortable. I hope she is able to reconnect with her daughter. Lucy shows up at Alex's. She wants him to be rough the way he's always been and aloof the way he's always been. And I'm not really sure why Lucy hates herself so much. Has she made mistakes? Sure, but we all have. But she, for some reason, likes to be treated not so well. Maybe it's because she's used to that with Steven and it reminds her of Steven. But this soft romantic side of Alex is not turning her on at all. She wants it to stop. Pippa and Diane are enjoying some simple snuggle time, and Chris calls. And of course, Pippa does not let Diane know it's Chris on the phone. And she doesn't know why he's calling. She doesn't know that he and Lucy had a conversation earlier. And I don't really know why he's calling either. I'm very interested in this conversation. Pippa doesn't really want anybody to know about this. She's been very secretive. And the only reason Lucy knows is because she walked in on the situation. So this is part of the storyline that I'm really curious to find out about. It should be really interesting how it develops. Bree tells Wrigley her childhood was so chaotic. She doesn't even know how to swim. No one taught her. So what does Wrigley do? He brings her to a swimming pool to teach her how to swim. And of course, this leads to a moment of chemistry that surprises them both. It's very awkward, but this makes me understand a little bit more about the last episode toward the end, when there was some eye contact made during the wedding, and then also that Steven found all of those messages between Bree and Wrigley. So obviously a friendship has developed, maybe more. We'll find out soon enough. But there was definitely a moment there that intrigued them both and scared them both, for sure. Steven sees Diane, and they tell each other they are both going to Yale. And he's excited, but she's not. She's like, if you're going to Yale, I am not going to Yale. And this floors him. He can't believe that Diane would even say that Diane would give up her dream and her father's dream because she hates him so much. But that's how much Diane knows that Steven is not good for her. She doesn't want him in her life. She doesn't want anything to do with him. And she's certainly not going to go to school with the man that she can't stand so much. And wow, he cannot believe his ears. This gives him pause, so much so that he immediately goes to the one thing he knows how to do best, and that's revenge. And he finds some old pictures of Diane, maybe not so old, probably of the last time they got together, that were very sexy pictures that she had either sent him or they took together, and he had on his computer. And it looks like he may have sent them somewhere. And my spidey senses tell me that he's sending them to Yale. Can you imagine if that's where he's sending them to? I mean, he sent them somewhere. Or maybe he just saved them for later, but I don't think so. I really feel like he sent them somewhere. What a jerk. He just loves blowing up people's world. But she said some pretty cruel things to him. She had to have known there was going to be repercussions to terminating her pregnancy without even asking or telling him that she was going to do it. And B, saying that she was going to get rid of his baby and she was going to enjoy doing that. That's next level cruelty. So maybe she deserves what she gets. I'm not sure, but it's going to be hard to watch. The very end of the show is Lucy pleasuring herself to the disgusting voice message that Steven had once sent her, yelling at her, berating her. Apparently this is a turn on, or maybe she just misses Steven so much. Whatever it is, it's dark, it's twisted, and we are all here for it in the Tell Me Lies community. We love a good cliffhanger, and we got one. So I can't wait to see the next episode. I'm so excited. So I hope you'll join me, and I hope you guys have a great week. Take care. Bye.